Yo. Technical difficulties trying to connect to Instagram. I don't know what the hell's going on, but we here now. So it is all love, man. We back, Hawaii Mike Live. It's a Tuesday, though. And why are we here on Tuesday? But before we get into that, it's your first time here. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all comment. Make sure y'all share. Do all that good stuff. Y'all know what to is a pretty, you know, important day I definitely look at. I mean, I look at all the double months, the repeating numbers of the dates and things like that as portals. But 11/11 is especially special because I'm also a life path one. And, it's about, the portal it's about clarity. It's about alignment, transformation, about moving through the portal with intention and power. Because this next chapter, and I say chapter because this is a 9-year that we're in. This is a completion. We're about to end this 9-year. It's a year of completion and new beginnings. So manifesting, in this moment is super powerful to me. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. So let me know if everything's good, sound is good, all that stuff is good. Let me know what's going on. Tap in on the chat, do what y'all gotta do, say hello. And the reason I talk about this so much is, and I felt like I've always, been one to kind of like bring people together. Y'all hear me talk about unity, you talk about hearing me building community, communicating unity. And I think there's a bunch of different factors that go into that. But overall, I feel like the programming of this world, and the people that are in control of them, the few that are in control of the many, the programming is just so strong that it's really become our reality. We really think there's not a way out of this, and that's the only way it's supposed to be. We tend to just believe it. And I was hearing people talk about the U.S. and kind of how we do things, and obviously we have, there's a lot of great things living here. There's a lot of really bad things living here. And I think that's everywhere, right? But why are we okay with that? Complain about it. And the wild thing is, what they do is they feed us all of this bad stuff, all these things that aren't good for us, all this stuff that is harmful to our health, physically, mentally, emotionally. They feed us this media. They tell us to eat bad foods. They give us all these processed foods. This country, I don't know if y'all see like how, there's fights against ingredients in this country. Like there's a lot of like, the food coloring and things like that that are very harmful for us that aren't allowed in a lot of other countries. But here, no problem. Feed it. Give it to kids. Give it to kids in school. Like, and so, my thing is that they want us divided. They want us apart. They want us at each other. Like, not necessarily more than any other country, in that sense, but we should be able to work together. We're all here initially as immigrants. We're all here initially as opportunity in the land of the free and, trying to make a better life and all these. So many of us with our lives here in this country. And it's so crazy that we don't think about it. We don't kind of, talk about it and bring this shit up. It's almost like we don't have a history, and we don't really have a full history. Not obviously we do, but I think a lot of it was hidden. I think there's a lot more to this land than we know. The Grand Canyon for one, Mount Shasta two, the Anunnaki. There's so many. I don't want to get into that right now because that's so deep. There's so much information that we believe is hidden here and a lot of other places, but here especially, there's like in all these different places, and make it so it's like done very well at keeping us divided, like how they want us. But that being said, I do see things and I have conversations, and people want solidarity. People want deeper connections. People want to not fight. People want to be happy and collaborate. when I talk to pack mentality, and pack is going to come up in this conversation again, but listen how we talk about it. Um, and, you know, the way we're going to win is working together, finding our, not through ethnicity, not through all these other things, but just, and one of the wild things about us as humans is internally, but the programming from the outer world and how we're taught blocks us from that. The food they feed us is low vibrational. It calcifies our need for medicines. It's on his patients. I mean, and so we have this innate, there's this fear of, will I be okay? Will I survive? Is there something wrong with me? And one of the first realizations, survival, if we stay together and operate in packs. And these packs or tribes consisted of a network of families and people with different skills and responsibilities working together. Sounds real simple. Sounds good, right? Like, and then when they pull all this together, it exponentially from mindset, right? We live in a very first world problems kind of time. They had to worry about now, right? Well, also that fear was about dying out, not surviving as a species, right? Whether that was from threats and danger from nature or not being able to procreate, right? So as a man or a woman not being able to bear children, or a man being infertile, not being able to give that seed, like it I don't know, like the tricks, and like I don't know if these are jokes of how we're programmed by whoever created us, but it's like they've given to be hurtful, to be selfish, to be short-sighted or narrow-sighted, and now this fear, our like innate fear that we have for survival, is attached to money. So this modern age, that internal fear of failure is intimately linked. It's all about money. Look at social media, right? All the people, look how many people we follow that are rich or do all these things that we can't afford to do, right? And what happens is they take things away, and then give us a little, or they make it so difficult just to get a little. But when we get that, it's like this reward. And we have to stop going after that short-term reward and look at our long-term. But again, that takes solidarity. That takes collaboration. That takes us, moving together. And right now, if we're so linked to money, it's so, and how many times we talk about like just millionaires or people with money being miserable? We know that's not what makes anybody happy, right? Now, if you're already happy, having money can add on to your life in so many different ways, because now you can do all the things that you want to do and you're already happy. They want their OS to be low vibrational, in a low vibrational frequency where everyone moves independently of each other, divided, and not just independently, not just divided, but again, in fear, scared, scarcity mindset, unhealthy, emotionally unequipped and not present, right? Distracted, regretful of all the things that happen, scared of what's about to come, competitive in the sense of like that survival side, right? I need to get with this group to overthrow that group, because if that group overthrew, I don't want to be with the team. That we're stronger as one together. And again, it's a long-winded way of me saying we need to focus on our oneness and using times and days like 11/11, 1/11, 11/1, things like that, to think about oneness. That's just an assumed projection of what you think other people are thinking of you because of the way you judge other people. we need to be okay being silly. We need to be okay being curious. We need to be okay being open-minded and willing to that can just flow. The better we're able to discern amongst things that are necessary or not necessary for us. We stay closed-minded, something jumps in there, we're scared, we push that shit right out. We stop learning, we stop growing, we become stagnant. And again, that's what they want. This isn't a break, slowing it down, right? Much difference. When you hear me talk about stillness, you might be in meditation, you might be in contemplation, you might be in deep thought. Talking about stagnant, that's like a petri dish of all kinds of things that can grow in there and contaminate it. So no bueno. And you know, they feed us so much garbage. Garbage food, garbage prescriptions, garbage information, advertising, media, all of this stuff. But watching, you know, obviously being in New York, but watching Mamdani's, I don't even know, I have these in my head right now. Watching Mamdani's campaign gave me a little bit of hope. I don't know about y'all, but what I saw in there, struggles, common interests, again, those intersectionalities. The book I referenced, if y'all, I don't know if y'all saw it or not. I don't have, wait, do I have it down here? Oh yeah. So this is the book, you know, that I referenced. Angela Davis, Freedom is a Constant Struggle. This is an incredible book. I got this during the pandemic, but like right after it was kind of ending. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff in here. And one of the things, I mean, you even see it on the cover. I mean, look at Palestine, right? So we know none of this is new, but we've been fighting against these same negative forces and people for years, right? And what happens is they keep breaking us down and dividing us, keep breaking us down and dividing us. They keep changing how they teach us, figuring it out so the youth aren't able to follow. And then the internet, social media, the thing that was supposed to bring us together has created a huge chasm amongst us. Go look at positive posts. Watch how many negative posts there are. Or somebody's always going to try to slide some funny comment. Because again, the way our brains are, that shock, the way of shocking people through words and language and actions, it resonates so much more with us than receiving information. It's wired in a way that's, it's like a mind fuck, y'all. Like, but in the United States, you know, like I said, I think I said this already, but in the United States, we're a melting pot of the global diaspora. We are a representation of a multitude of cultures and expressions and every religion and food and language, right? But how can we come to this country and try to fight for things according to ethnicity or according to like our indigenous cultures and things of that nature? It's like, no, we're in a different country right now. We're in a different place. And how many of us are mixed? Like, bro, my father had to leave Bethlehem, flew to the Philippines to live there, met a woman that is Filipino and Spanish because, hey, we were colonized by Spain for so fucking long. That's why, how many Filipinos have Spanish names? Or how many of the dishes are Spanish, right? So, you know, we didn't have our own. So again, that's two countries already in turmoil, in strife, right? Colonization. And then my mother's from Brazil. All that to say for me is I fit in so many different places, right? This is where my ethnicity really kind of shined for me. Like, I was able to fit in. Now it's, oh, what side are you on? But sometimes I wasn't able to be on a side, you know, or other times I might have been on both sides, you know? And it's like, well, where do I go when all I want is peace? Like, I just want to see us all kind of, you know, be able to live together and be in tune. And so, you know, I'm also a Life Path 1. And 11/11, I'm also so I'm Cancer, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising. And I believe 11/11 is my Scorpio birthday. And so I see ones a lot. I see 1111 constantly. I'm sure y'all seen me like posted in stories and things of that nature. And 11 is a master number. It represents intuition, awakening, and alignment. And when it repeats like it does for this day, this is the power of visualization, manifestation. That's why these exercises, to me, are important. What they do is they help us power our minds so that we're more in control of how and where and when to focus it. Because it just keeps coming back to us, that infinity loop, then we're going to feel like we're in a negative space. We're going to feel like it just keeps coming at us. And one of my biggest things with our egos and how self-centered we become, life is not, you're not that special. Because if we removed ourselves from life, like we just took our lives right now, nothing stops. Everything keeps going. The 8 billion people keep going. If you're lucky, there's some that stop for you and go celebrate you and go all that. For the most part, sorry, unless you're famous and all of that or whatever else. But even then, it's done. How many famous people have died this year? We forgot. I had fucking 3 famous people of my friends die last, right? So we have to be intentional with how we train our minds. We have to create awareness. That's why mindfulness and practicing being present, mindful, is so important, because then we can start to determine what information. And so before, and I'm gonna take y'all through it. So it's not a ton of time, but if y'all want to do it still, I still think you can do it. So basically, like I have fun with this one. And again, like visualizing, being intentional with these things is very. All right, I'm gonna do way more on mindfulness, but let me just explain. Mindfulness, it's not exactly you practice mindfulness, but mindfulness itself is more just being present in the moment, being aware of yourself, your surroundings, your experience, and everything that's happening as it's happening, right? Not being distracted, not being worried about the past, not being over here, that's mindfulness. Now, there's breath work that can help keep you mindful and in the moment and present. Meditation does that. Yoga does that. Exercise does that. And there's tons of other things. I mean, people put rubber bands, on their wrist, and they'll snap them every once in a while. People will get up and do exercise. People will set alarms just to remind themselves, right? It's up to you to figure out how this resonates for you. And this is with everything. When you're working on yourself and when you're just thinking about life in general, your experience is your experience. Nobody else can have the same experiences of you, period. They don't have the references of your past, same room. It's just not the same. So when you're doing these things, think about self. Think about the best version of yourself, visualizing who you want to be, where you want to be, all of these things. And that's going to end up being part of this. So as we're preparing for this, we journal. I did a couple pages, nothing too crazy, so don't get scared. But if you've never journaled before, you're going to learn. Sit your ass down and try to clear your head, light some incense, some sage, some Palo Santo, whatever you need to do. And start to think about what your ideal life, your dream job or line of work, your physical appearance. Let your imagination go as far as it can. Let it run wild and don't hold it back. Like if your dreams aren't scary, you're not dreaming big enough. Remember that. Like you owe it to yourself to dream as big as you can. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be scared. Don't worry about what somebody else may think of you and think it's funny. If that's what you want, embrace it, own it, love it. It's you. Like don't fight that. We so often hide ourselves and who we really are and what we really like for fear of what others may think. Laugh together about it, or somebody who code switches and just does whatever they do to make the other people happy. Who would you want to be around? You know what I'm saying? Like I know who I want to be around, so y'all got to think about that. So To get this started, remember the sky is the limit. We're not keeping this low vibrations. We are dreaming as big as we can. So you want to ask yourself things like, what do I truly want next? What do I want to experience? What am I ready to receive? What do I want to heal? Because this one actually, I learned this by the idea of wanting to share and give love and have an open heart, right? Telling my friends I love you, telling, people I care about, I love you, right? When you tell somebody I love you, regardless of the other person, if your intentions are pure, it's just saying that is going to resonate for you internally. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to release some of those good things like dopamine, or actually no, it'll release serotonin, right? And that's the love drug. And the thing about serotonin is our levels are low, period. To give and receive love. Are you embarrassed? Do you feel embarrassed? Think about the word love and write that down. Think about who you can say I love you to without feeling embarrassed. Can you say I love you to somebody in public? Can you say I love you to a friend, right? Right? It's an interesting one. Think about that one. What do you want to heal, release, or attract? And then goal, manifest consistent income through my work. I want to travel to my dream destination of Macau, like whatever it may be, or long-term desires. I want to buy my dream home. I want to meet my soulmate. I want to live a life of peace and purpose. You could even get more detailed and say, I want to live a life of, solidarity and being of service for the greater good of the whole by volunteering and, you know what I mean? So you can get as detailed as you want. But the one thing I want you to make sure of is start with I want, I will, I am. Don't put any negative stuff in there. Don't say I don't want to do this and then da 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 da. I don't want to be like this anymore, right? I don't want to put the negative part, because even though you're giving the positive, it's almost like they cancel each other out, right? And that's the thing about manifestation, is you want to be clear. That's why the visualization part of it is important. Seeing yourself, writing down the little details. What does it feel like? I love that one. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us attribute happiness to things we have, right? But we don't think about how we feel inside, right? Like, oh, I'm so happy because I have a wife or a husband or a partner, that I'm married to. But if they weren't there, would you still be happy or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, so just keep those things in mind. And so once you've kind of like done your journaling, you can create a short list from all that you've written. And then from there, choose 12 wishes that you're most aligned with your heart right now. And I know I'll find it in a sec. But for this exercise, you'll need something to journal in. You need blank paper to write on the small strips, obviously a pen, and then a jar or a box, something that you can close and seal, and then a crystal. We'll have a clear guide in here. And as you can see, my notes, they're already folded up because I already did this exercise. So these are the notes in there. And then it just sits in here, right? And again, be specific and positive. Don't write, I don't want debt. Instead, I am living debt-free and abundant life, So you feel excited when you read it, or you smile, move on to the next. And make a list more than 12 if you want. Write down more than 12 if you want. Feel it out, right? Get in tune with self. Try not to have distractions on TV or anything of that nature. Have it nice and, chill and quiet. But, write it down, Again, other examples could be like, I'm driving my dream car, an Audi Q7 by July of 2026. I'm attracting loving respect, And then write each of these down on a separate slip. Once they're all written, again, fold them like I said. And then as you fold, silently say, I'm surrendering this wish to the divine plan. Let it manifest for my higher good. All the slips inside, you know, hold the vessel in your hand, visualize golden white light surrounding it, and say the following: highest path. I release them with faith, love, and gratitude. The universe is now working in my favor. Tomorrow or any other day before December 1st begins the most powerful part of this ritual. It's surrendering without knowing. Flowing. You take out one folded slip, and without opening it, without reading it, you are going to, because you don't want to know what contains what's in it. That's part of the surrender, right? You're going to light it. But this ritual is, like I said, is about pure surrender. So it's a sacred saying. So while you're doing this, dear universe, I trust you completely. I don't need to know which wish this is. I release control and I let you lead. So just take one folded slip out, hold it for a few seconds, close your eyes, and then silently say divine order. And then you burn the slip up, allow it to burn into ashes, and just watch the paper transform into smoke. That's your wish. Going into the ether, up into the higher realms. And then, this is my part I added. If you want, imagine it going up and exploding like fireworks, or coming down like rain, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever, but think about this process as uplifting, as healing. Visualize through smiling, through laughter, through just good vibrations, all of this coming true. And then you're going to repeat this process for 11 days. Don't peek, don't guess, don't assume which one it is, just trust. Because what you're doing is you're actually training your brain a little bit by doing this. You're training your energy to detach, to let go, to allow, right? No more victim. And this act of not knowing is like what I believe. When I say put you in the flow, it's different than being in a flow state. What I'm talking about is a universal fit, how we rotate in the universe. You can look at from light to dark, like all of those things. But we don't know what's going to happen, right? So we got to trust that everything's going to keep going, and we got to allow everything to unfold in front of us and then choose how to participate with it. To me, that is being in the flow of life. That is what I work on every day. That is part of what I want to be one with, is that universal flow. Manifest. But you got to be ready. You have to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we hit struggle, we hit these hard times, and we give up. Or we turn back, go the other way. A lot of the times, that's when it's about to happen for us. And it'll all, after a while, start to manifest and come to give you whatever you're supposed to have in life, right? Remember, I said there's 12, so we're going to do this for 11 days. On the 12th of December, not the 12th day, on the 12th of December, that's another portal, that's 12/12. So the way they look at this is 11/11 opens it, 12/12 closes it. For this exercise, we're going with that on the 12th. I kind of say it goes to 1/11 because it's kind of like the opposite to me, but I'm going for the 12th. So on the 12th day, the last slip is the 12th wish. This time, don't burn it, open it. All right? And this wish is special. It's not the one you burn, it's the one you keep. It's like the universe is saying, for these 11, I got you. No problem. Chill out. But this one, this 12th one, I want you to take the lead. This one is for you. So take that slip, keep it in your hand. Under it, write, if your wish is about health, decide what you'll start doing. Morning walks, mindful eating, meditation. If it's about career, Maybe you'll enroll in a new course, take a class, apply for that promotion. Your 12th wish becomes your sacred contract, your reminder that divine help flows to those who take aligned, intentional action. So, alignment, again, we're aligning with the flow. We're aligning with the flow of it being 11/11. Now, is that a real date? Who the fuck knows? But that's the way our universe is flowing right now. So let's align with that. You know what I'm saying? And let's get in it. And again, this is about being intentional. This is about wanting to be your best version of you. This is about doing inner work and opening your portal up. And your portal to me is the heart as well as the pineal gland, right? But this thing, for a lot of us, this calcified, this shit is blocked, this is like just stuck. But our hearts, we can open that door whenever. And we open it by giving, by being of service, by, sharing empathy and saying hello to people and telling people you care about them and saying thank you to people. Selfish mindset. So we got to trust this process. We got to trust ourselves. We have to trust our purpose. But we can't figure out for everybody to do. It is to work on knowledge of self. Because everything that you need to be the best version of you is right here. Everything you need to be fulfilled. We don't live with it. But we have to constantly practice working on it. And one of the tricks in life is that we're born with trauma. We have trauma that's been passed on to us through that tube that we come out of, that canal that we come out of. Also from that sperm that creates and hits that seed. There's trauma in all of that because everybody's got trauma. We have individual trauma, we have familial trauma, we got collective trauma, right? And it's up to us, though, to heal through it. Nobody else can do that for us. Nobody else is responsible for us healing. It is just us. And so I share these experiences, I share these perspectives on that because, again, I believe my purpose is to not just share, but celebrate our oneness, how we connect, right? And acknowledge all of our differences, the things that make us different by celebrating those as well. We should be able to come together and learn from each other. We should be able to come together and support each other. We should be able to come together and be curious and like supportive of how other people live. It doesn't hurt us. It doesn't take away anything from us, So that's the vibes, man. And, again, man, I wish there was a magic switch we could just hit that would get people to change their channels, man. And for all my people stuck in a negative space, like be able to see that there's other ways to think, And again, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's something that happens in a day. It's something that you embrace for the rest of your life and work on daily, even by moment to moment, right? So, we got to embrace, if you want to live a happy life, you want to feel good in life, you want to be your best, not just for yourself, but for your family and the people that are around you, got to do these, you got to figure out your practices. You got to go in. You got to take that time. And, if you're not sure what to do or how to start this, I just did a post yesterday about starting SMART, using that acronym that helps motivate people with like ADHD and like, which is me, and a lot of other things. But it's, I think it's super helpful because a lot of times what we do is, especially, now with social media and everything, is we compare ourselves to other people's journey, other people's successes. And who knows where they started, how long they've been on this journey and everything else. We got no right to judge ourselves so harshly and put ourselves up against somebody else as journey. Like, we got to just do our own. And so I incorporated the SMART acronym as a way to get people to just start, like start smart. You know, it's S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for actionable, R is for realistic, and T is for time. So basically, instead of it being like, oh, I'm just saying the goal is, I just want to start stretching. You know, I want to stretch for 30 minutes a day, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes before I go to bed. Actionable. Instead of it just being vague, like, hey, I'm going to start running. I'm going to get back into running. A little bit more like, oh, I got to go do this, right? Be realistic. Instead of it being like, I'm going to lose 50 pounds this month, you know, activities, or I'm going to work out 4 hours this week. And by week 6, I'm going to build up to X. And then time, 30 minutes in 60 days without stopping. You know, as long as we're open to constantly learn, because that's what life is about, is adapting to everything that's put in front of us. Once we're able to embrace that part, man, life changes. Again, that victim part, we're so ready to be the victim. Oh, you did this to me. Life did that to me. It might not be fucking fun, but it's right there in front of you. What the fuck are you going to do about it? Right? We can cry about it. We can hide from it. And a lot of the times when we do that, the only thing that's going to happen, it's going to get worse. And we don't want that. So let's attack it right away, knock it out, and do what we got to do. Let's face these things. Let's be brave. Let's not, you know, feed that same bullshit programming that they give us. All right? So I'm not going to keep you all night. I'm actually, you know, going to smoke in a sec and actually go do my ritual at 11:11. You know? So that's the vibes, man. Excited, back. You know, make sure y'all do that subscribe vibe, share with some friends. This recording will be up so y'all can check that out, tap in with it, listen to the, you know, the instructions for everything. And if you need it, shoot me a message or whatever, and I'll email you or text it to you, whatever you need, all right? Again, I'm Hawaii Mike. This was Hawaii Mike Live. Stay tuned for more, you know, working through the end of this year to build out some more content ideas, and got a few things we're working on, and it should be fun. Just got to flesh them out and, you know, see what we want to start with first. But I'm excited. Publishing might even be back on the table again, which is interesting because I haven't done that in a long time. So I'm kind of excited about that. Like, it's been like 15 years since I've done anything on that side, you know. Peace, Miles. Thanks for hanging out with me, bro. You know, if you need this or whatever, let me know. And, you know, we'll be here checking in on the check-in every so often. But you know how to reach me. You hit me on DM. So all love, my G. All right. But, yeah. Make sure y'all tap in. Hit that YouTube, Instagram, all the good stuff. And we'll see y'all soon. All right. Peace.